welcome to You Can Grow Too and to the first garden tour of the 2025 spring season. And for me, I'm going to call it the good, bad, and ugly, or ugly, because in my garden, it's not really a blank slate in the spring. We are going from winter and we're just rolling right into the season, which to me feels like we're going into summer because we had a lot of 90-degree days already and it's the start of April. So you're going to see a lot of plants finishing up, and there's also a lot of chop and drop that I do, and that helps build the soil. And my soil is very sandy, so I mean it's actually nothing but sand. So it's very important for me to keep covering it and having that sand build up over time. And my dog, Lunabelle, is here. Minu's inside. She might join us, who knows. But you're going to hear a lot and see a lot as she is running around with all of her toys. Also, the bad thing that has happened this season has started with my seedlings. I completely forgot to harden them off. And that is when you're growing your seedlings inside. Yes, they're growing under grow lights, but grow lights and the sunshine, especially here in Florida, are two completely different things. And your seedlings will die if they are not adjusted to the sunlight. And you know, time went on, and I just plain forgot, especially with Lunabelle. She kind of, I'm just gonna say, she kind of mixed my schedule up a little bit. So anyhow, that happened. These pictures that I'm showing you do not do justice to how bad these seedlings are. A lot of them, I didn't divide them in time, so they're all growing together, getting very leggy. They're losing all their nutrition, losing all the color in their leaves. I even had peppers flowering in my little seed starts, and some were even producing fruit. And just so you understand, that is a bad thing. That's not a good thing. That means the plants are desperate trying to put out their seed because they are not doing well at all. They are dying. So I had to get them outside. So we are going to see those seedlings and see how they're doing. So yes, ugly, bad things, but like I said, a lot of good things too. And one of them is that it had just rained not too long ago, and we have been having very hot temperatures, and now it's down to about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is really a nice day. Perfect day for our first spring garden tour. So let's go into the garden and see what's going on. The bananas and our perennials have really been enjoying this rain. We'll be looking at those more in the summer. But let's get started in what I call the Titanic beds. Lunabelle is where she is not allowed to be presently, but I'm trying to do this tour, so enjoy your time now, Lunabelle. But before we get started in the Titanic beds, I want to show you this, our last beet of the season. I've had really good success this year with beets in a container. It's kind of hard to tell because it blends in with the soil, but it is a pretty large beet. This is the winter keeper variety, hardly any disease on the leaves, so we've been enjoying that as well. Probably going to pick that today. And our onions, not quite sure how it split up like that. I thought it was just one plant I put in, but didn't really have much success, but we'll be harvesting these soon. But I do have some baby melons I'm hoping will make it through when I harvest the onions, so we'll be watching that. That's our spring crop. And in this first bed, the first Titanic bed, we have our not hardened off peppers, and they're looking actually really good. The trick is when I did plant them in the evening time so the sun wasn't on them directly. And there also was a Chinese cabbage that was growing amongst these to give them some shade, and that did help them transition, but they're looking really good. Already flowering. That means we'll be getting some fruit. And this is an old pepper plant from last year that is still trying to produce peppers. But in this bed, I have planted peanuts. I've never planted peanuts before. I put in about 6 or no, 8 peanuts in here. So we will see. I spaced them a little more than 6 inches. And like I said, a lot of chop and drop in the bed, letting things go to seed. This was an old bit of Chinese cabbage that we missed and has gone to seed, but it'll come up some point in the season again. At the end of the bed, we also have some cucumbers. And what's crazy about these cucumbers is my husband had to take them out of the place they were originally growing because we were topping off this bed for the peanuts. And they're looking really good for being taken out of the earth. He did it very carefully and transplanted and watered in well, but that's nice. So hopefully we'll get some cucumbers out of this batch. I see that I probably have some worms in there. I did take some out last night. I should say caterpillars. Those little green caterpillars, they are such a problem for me for cucumbers. Let's go over to the other bed. I have some sweet alyssum finishing up here, one of my favorite flowers for the fall and winter. But here, really excited, this is an edible air potato. I am so excited about this variety. Here in Florida, if you've lived here the past number of years, you may remember those wild air potatoes that would grow all around. Those are poisonous. But this variety I got from Daisy the Good. If you are familiar with David the Good on YouTube, it's his daughter, and she has her very own seed shop, and she sells these edible air potatoes. And it is looking so good, and I'm so excited because this can be a wonderful storage crop for here in the South. So I'm really excited to see how this is gonna go. But yeah, looking very good, very healthy right now. Really appreciating this rain we got last night. But down here, not so good. One of the ugly parts, the bad parts, are these bush beans. I mean, yeah, there's a bean on there. My beloved dragon tongues. If you've seen a lot of my tours, a lot of my videos, you've seen I can grow bush beans very well, but I usually grow them at the start of fall. And my goodness, they'd be lush plants. We get a lot of beans out of them. But this was grown later into the winter. Still got cold snaps, so this tells me that, yeah, it probably was just too cold for them, but they're not doing well at all. But sometimes it's all about the timing. So fall is a good time for me. And behind those beans, yes, we have some ashwagandha right here, hoping to get that going well. I just planted a little watermelon here, one of my mystery watermelons that was last year that did decent. And some snapdragons. These are the white ones. One here and one there. And in the middle, a Pippin's honey pepper. It has purple leaves on it. It's part of the variety. But this was one of the seedlings that was not hardened off. Look at it. Not bad. Same with this pepper here. Again, my chop and drop. This pepper here, I don't remember what it is, but it's here. This pepper. And another one, a Pippin's honey pepper, amongst all the chop and drop. But looking really good. And a holy basil. Something I'm also experimenting with is the Oya. It's an ancient way of watering a garden. You bury in, this is some sort of, I'm blanking on the material. It's like with a flower pot. Terracotta, that's the word I'm looking for. You plug the hole that's at the bottom of it, you bury it, fill it with water, put a top on, and that water is supposed to come through that terracotta and help water the plants around it and keep moisture down into the ground. So this was an actual Oya that was sold at the store, but I also, in the garden, hopefully we'll get to it, I actually used a flower pot for it. So that'll be interesting to see how that will work. Some dying back nasturtiums. And let's get over to this bed back here. Oh, yes, this pepper plant. I need to clean up around it, but this is the chocolate pepper that we saw in the fall winter tours. I had planted, was it late summer, early fall? I don't really plant my peppers that early, but I thought I'd get them out and see if I could build up their root system. And it was a pretty cold winter for us for a while, so it was struggling, but it's looking really good right now with all this warmth that is now here. A lot of lettuces bolting and a lot of seeds being formed, and I also have my new amaranth I was excited about. This was the white beauty. I love the pink beauty, but this is a new one to me, the white variety, and it's coming back all right. I think I got out a lot of my amaranths too early because, like I said, it kind of was cooler this winter, and yeah, amaranth likes it hotter, but it does seem better than it did a moment ago. And another amaranth. This is the beetroot amaranth going to seed. Still looking beautiful, but maybe got it out too early. All these beautiful bolted lettuces. And coming down, another edible air potato coming up on this side of the bed. So I thought it'd be nice to have one here and one there, and something will finally be able to successfully cover this trellis. I've been trying for so long. All right, coming out of the Titanic beds, moving over to a winter harvest. Well, I can't forget this huge thing. We have our Everglade tomato tree, or at least that's what I call it. It's actually growing up a dormant peach tree, and this seems to work out wonderfully for me every fall and winter, so I just let it keep on happening. But you wouldn't know that here's the garden bed, and it's actually growing out this area right here, and it's just, whew, there it is, Everglades tomatoes. This is a great tomato for the Deep South. But here we are still enjoying our collards. My goodness, looking really good after this rain. We love our greens here. And we also have our giant kohlrabis, looking really big. I might be beating my record, as you might have seen in my past videos. Well, we will see. And right below it growing, it's knocked over right now, but we do have this cassava. It is a tropical root crop. It's actually starting to come back because it is warming up. So I'm gonna see if I can harvest it, even though it is coming back. Sometimes, roots don't taste good when they start growing back because they're taking energy out of the root, the thing that you're eating. So we're gonna find out. And more cassava behind the bench. Harvested one, and one's still growing. And let me turn around a second. Back to where our collards are. Everglades tomato. And down where our fire pit used to be, we have a garden bed overgrown with bolting kales, or Ethiopian kale, I should say, and some beautiful, beautiful sweet alyssum. That was just, I want to say, one plant. It is one of the best alyssum flowers I've ever grown, and I'm hoping to get right in there. There's some roselle seedlings. I'm hoping to start one good plant in here, and I'm trying to get some watermelon. I might have to put in another seedling. That one doesn't look too good. But yeah, we're in the middle of transitioning into our spring summer garden. Whoop, whoop. Are you running around? Go run, go run. She was just running. Oh, Luna Bell. So a lot of craziness. The overgrowth is starting to happen. A lot of dying back and bolting, but a lot of good things to come. And let's turn back around again a moment. Next to the bench. Our artichoke plant looks much better after that rain. We'll see. I do see two little roly-polies there doing whatever. Hopefully not eating it up. We will see. Our pumpkin vine, this is a tropical pumpkin, is starting to come back. I did notice it's starting to ramble. So hopefully, after all this cold weather we had, I only got one pumpkin, very disappointed, but like I said, it was colder, so I should expect that. But I also have it going up. There's the dieback, but then it continues, about right there, so we will be seeing that. And I can't forget this thing from our last tour. Up, up we go. We might be at 12 feet now. It is tobacco. So glorious, so big. Such beautiful flowers. I'm excited to work with the seed pods. I do see a couple forming up there. There's no way I can get up close. It is way too tall. My hopes with this plant is to use it as a nice chop and drop and help build up the soil, so we'll see. an amaranth that is supposed to have a lot of seed that you can eat, but that's not what I'm growing it for. It's mainly for the leaves, but it's pretty. I'm just gonna let it grow, kind of flopping over. And our beautiful tried and true vinca plants, vinca flowers. And in this bed, what I'm very excited about, well, Lunabelle I'm excited about, really helping compost that log. Oh boy. In this bed, I'm really excited about is our giant carrots. I did harvest one of them. We had family in town and I couldn't help myself, had to pick one. So hopefully we'll be picking more very soon. Maybe later after this tour. Hey, what's going on? Yeah? What do you need, Lunabelle? You just want to be on camera? Show everybody? Oh, ah! Okay, down, down, down. Where's your toy? Oh, Lunabelle. Oh, a little ladybug there. As the bad bugs are moving in, so are the good bugs. So it's always good to, I don't know, there might be bad things happening in the garden, but there's always good things too. Beautiful nasturtiums. Letting these nasturtiums die back because they are producing seed for next year. And as these seeds develop, as the plant dies back, it will give us more nasturtiums for next year. And as these die back, we are enjoying our kale. And this is my favorite variety, or one of them. It is the blue dazzling kale. And I like them because they have a more flat leaf instead of a curled in leaf, for example. Like this dinosaur kale. I do like it. I love its beautiful color it has. And there's a lot of critters that hide out in there that make it difficult for me to harvest. So I really prefer that blue dazzling kale. Alright, so coming away from this bed, we are turning around to the rock bed, or what I call the horseshoe bed. Not only full of flowers, but full of dog toys. They like milk bottles and other things. But stepping here, we will see our beautiful spiderworts. These bloom in the spring, and they bloom only in the mornings, and they fade in the afternoon. Normally bees are all over them, but it did just rain, so the bees are slowly coming out. Oh, there's one. My favorite tomatoes are coming to their end. This is the not chocolate, it is the black cherry. That is the one I really like. They're starting to rot on the plant and we're getting a lot of diseases. That's normal. Playing with their toy. You like your toy? Whee! And another favorite, which is my husband's favorite, is the honeycomb hybrid. This is actually one plant that I let two main growing vines come up, and it is one of my best producers and also most disease-resistant tomatoes that I grow. I mean, right now it is, coming to the end, and we're going to be cleaning these out soon because we have noodle beans along the way, but still doing pretty good. Our Cuban oregano that is overgrown with tons of tomatoes poking through. Something I am trying to do with these bolting plants, this is Ethiopian kale, is maybe save the seeds for microgreens. My husband and I do that a lot, and we're probably going to do that more in the summer when it's hot to come outside. Oh. Woo! You're having fun! So the thought is when it gets to be summertime and it's harder to come outside, we can still grow some nutritious vegetables in the house in the form of microgreens. So we're going to see how saving our own seed will do. That'll be interesting. And below, I did attempt to grow some of the patty pan squash. I didn't thin them out. I mean, this was also growing above it, this whole Ethiopian kale. But there's a lot of powdery mildew in there. It's one of those crops that just don't do well in my area anyways, and just I don't know. Maybe I'll try it again sometime, but it's all right. But next to it, a shishito pepper. Again, one of those not hardened off seedlings. So it's not growing in the best spot, but it's looking way better than when I put it in there. So there's still hope. Oh, and coming from there, I see my stevia has come back. That's great. I put a little border of rocks around it just to remind me that it is there. So when it dies back, I know it'll probably come back here. So that's nice. More tomatoes. So this is the chocolate Cherokee. And here, this giant thing. A collard. Huge. Now what I'm about to say, I'm not suggesting that you do this. I'm just telling you what happened and how it is going. And you're going to hear a lot of gardeners telling you, you know, absolute no, and I understand it, but I have dogs. And Lunabelle, when she was a young puppy, and still now, she doesn't know her barriers around the garden, and she will go potty just about anywhere, let's just say that. And of course, dog manure or any manure, you don't want it on your food, you don't want to eat it. It can be bad for you, of course. But this plant has been growing here a while. When she's doing her business, even though it's not where she should be doing it, it is still feeding the soil. These leaves are growing upright. They're brand new leaves, and I always wash my produce no matter what. There's so many gardeners out there that will eat from their garden without washing it because they're talking about, oh, how they don't spray. But something I think about is, well, nature still puts things in the garden that we shouldn't put in our mouths. So I wash it no matter what. But I will say this, everything that is growing here is doing pretty darn good because my dog has done her business here. So over time, as her manure breaks down, you know, it's still feeding the plants that are here. And like I said, I always wash my produce. I'm not recommending you do this. I'm not celebrating that she's going to the bathroom in here. But I am saying that I'm noticing my plants are doing pretty darn good. So this collard is a lot larger than the ones in the bed. It's doing very good, very healthy, probably thanks to my puppy. And so is this eggplant. This is actually one of the better growing eggplants. I mean, it is getting some shade, but it's just very nice and green. Already flowering a little bit, so maybe we'll get a fruit. But yeah, like I said, I mean, things are always happening in our garden, whether our dog's going to the bathroom in it or other pests and things. Just wash your produce. And I mean, that's what I do, and I feel fine. And over here in this container, it is the first week of April, or just after the first week of April as I film this, and not one sprout of broccoli has happened from what is supposed to be the purple early sprouting broccoli. It's really bushing out. I just don't see any sprouts. It's been so long. I'm wondering, I don't know if this is even worth it. A lot of the green worms are coming in, a lot of spiders and things, to where I just don't want to deal with it. And you can eat the leaves, it's just, I wanted broccoli. I mentioned that in my review video that I've been having problems with these containers. And I do have another pepper growing in here. Probably gonna change this out. I've been having problems with my containers. I think there's grubs in there. I have noticed holes throughout, you know, in the next day there'll be holes buried in there, and I've heard it might be some sort of beetle that is one of the early forms of the grub. So I might have to clean those out and figure that out. Maybe put perlite in there as well, because I'm having trouble with fluffy, moist soil. Over here we are ending one of my favorite experiments I had done through the fall and winter, and that was growing in nothing but sand. It's hard to tell because we just had rain, but this is my native soil. It is this sand. It just got rained on, so it's hard to tell, but I mean, that is what I am growing in. I do plan to do a video on what I had done to help that, but we are ending this bed right now, so I'll talk about it more in the video. I know you want to go in, but then you'll want to come back out. I know, in and out. But like I said before, we're doing a lot of chopping and dropping. This was a lot of the plants that we're growing in here. We are probably gonna take down a lot of these kales. Last I knew, the worms were starting to get in there. Just finishing the enjoyment of the nasturtiums. But yeah, chop and drop, and we'll see what we'll do next. Did you put your toy in there? Did you put your toy in there? We just put in some fruit trees that we we just had to get them in the ground. That's the thing, you know, wasn't the original spot. There's also things that we are thinking of that are going to change in our garden area at some point. But these couldn't stay in the pot much longer. They just weren't doing that well. And sometimes you just got to get it in the ground to do something. And now they are blooming. So hopefully we'll actually get fruit from these. This is a strawberry guava, by the way, supposed to do very well. And after this rain, my gosh, doing way better. I've been watering it and doing what I can with it because we literally just planted it right in the sand, and we're just trying to build the soil around it with a lot of chop and drops and that sort of thing to help build the soil around it. But a good rain does wonders. And we also did that with our yerba mate. And this is a good plant to have because there's natural caffeine in it. So that is good. And our wishing well that was growing a lot of our wonderful lettuces this fall and winter. They are all bolting. It's overgrown, but hoping to get seed here. I know you're going to keep hearing Lunabelle want to go inside, but then she's going to want to come out. And this crazy thing is the Romanesco, or at least we figured it was growing, believe it or not, in this pot. It is just leaning over, and it did produce a head. It looks more like a broccoli to me. I know you want to go in. Whoa! And my husband and I did try it. It was just very bitter. Even the leaves. I think it's just all that heat we had. And you know, it might feel like a waste. I mean, this thing was growing for half a year. I was really excited about it. But the thing with gardening is, it's never a waste when you compost it. You're just feeding your garden for next year. Swinging back around here, right in front of the Titanic beds. Ooh, I don't know. This is that jicama that actually came back from the root system that I didn't know was in here. I mean, I'm having real trouble with this soil, like I said, very compact and wet. I mean, that's a whole other story I need to figure out. But anyhow, we'll see if it bounces back. It's not looking good. But we do have bolting lettuce. This is a good lettuce. Don't know what it is, but it is going to make us some seed. All right, going back into the rock bed, we're actually going to come out. A nice random kohlrabi growing there. And also a melon that I planted in here yesterday. We will see. We are slowly taking out all of our tomatoes. Before we go out, I need to show you these. We put in our noodle beans. Down the line, our Thai soldier long beans that are such a staple in this garden that do so well. And a new one that is looking promising, the Guyana long bean. And that bean is said to get 3 foot long, and it does because I grew it last year. So that's going to be fun. A lot more chop and drop in the garden. Yeah, a little sloppy looking. But amongst this sloppiness, this ugliness, is a watermelon seedling. So we'll see. You know, a lot of all this chop and drop is something that's going to feed the soil on the ground for later this season, like that little watermelon seedling. Yeah, it may look ugly for right now, but there's a lot of purpose. Oh, the leftover of Chinese cabbage. I don't know if it's going to be any good to eat. It doesn't appear to be bolting just yet, so I got to remember to try that. One of my favorites. I forgot over this bunch we do have an eggplant and another tobacco. We will see. My husband just cleaned off an old tomato plant that had fallen over in here, so I really got to clean this out. Okay, now stepping out of our rock bed, and we're going to check out the cornerstone bed. More bolting, well, it's already bolted, made seed, the Ethiopian kale that I had growing here. Going to use the seed hopefully for the microgreens. I'm hoping that our green wave mustards, they still have not gone to seed. I got to get more of that. That's a really good mustard green. One of my favorites as well. Oh, actually, it is going to seed. I do see some of the flower buds starting to form. Might be hard to see with the ruffled leaves. But yeah, I'll hopefully be saving some seed. I'll have to take out anything else that might be flowering that it could cross with. But we also have, hopefully my watermelon will do well this year. This is the Black Diamond. I only had a couple of seeds left, so I'm really hoping these will pull through. I mean, this one's looking pretty good. We'll see. Some more mustards. Maybe I can eat that one up. It is starting to bolt. More random kohlrabi, always, always. That's a giant kohlrabi, by the way. All the kohlrabis I grow are giant. I've noticed they also last longer in the garden. My little salad tower has been finished a while ago, so I'm really gonna have to get the weeds out of there because that's gonna be trouble. Oh, and here's the Oya I was talking about. This one I had made with just a flower pot. This is the bottom of a flower pot that you would catch water with. I'll lift it up and hopefully no critters show up. Oh wow! I don't know if you can tell how low that water is. That water is slowly seeping out. Oh, close it up. Here comes Lunabelle. She loves water. I just did that Oya the other day, 2-3 days ago maybe, and I checked the water level the next day and it didn't budge. So I thought, how is this going to work? And it's working. It's doing something. So this is going to be great for my garden because, yes, I live here in Florida. Yes, we just got done with a rain, but we actually don't get as much rain as some places in Florida do. So this could be a wonderful tool to use in my sandy, dry, and hydrophobic soil. Something I'm also trying new, I think I planted it too soon. It was this, I think it's pronounced callaloo amaranth, and you can eat the leaves, and yeah, it's already gone to seed, already bolted. It just didn't grow as well as I thought, but again, all about the timing. I think I just did it too soon where we had a lot of cold days. So I actually have some more planted. We'll try again. Oh, Lunabelle. Stealing the last of the tomatoes. Crazy dog, but I love her. One of my favorite things I do, it's kind of overgrown with all the Bidens-elba flowers, but what I call the celery tower. It's just those little pots you can get at the big box store, and I just stick my little herb celeries in here. So I've still got some. Oh, we're renegading. Oh, we got the zoomies. We got the zoomies. Or a tomato. Yep. You're crazy. Some of the last of the lettuce growing here. We probably just have a few lettuce plants. I mean, a lot of them are bolting, so we're just gonna finish the week with some salad. And something I want to show quickly. It's hard to get in here, but this is our moringa tree. Oh, if you've seen a lot of the videos in the past, I mean, this is a huge tree. It's a fast grower, very nutritious, very drought tolerant, and it's hard to tell. I think this is the best place I can show it, but you can see all of the cuts that I've made. Not long ago, I just hacked this tree back, and I always get scared when I do that because you think, is it going to come back? And moringas are known for that, how you can just cut them back to the ground and they just come back. I've been dehydrating a lot of these, and we'll talk more about it in the summer, but I just wanted to show and have something to reference for you and myself, that don't be afraid to cut your moringas back because they come back. Oh, a pepper plant hidden in here amongst all this overgrowth and everything we'll see. It's a shishito pepper. More last of the lettuces. And last of the tomatoes. And these tomatoes were supposed to be my green zebra slicers, and they got crossed with most likely a black crim. But my husband and myself think they're really good, so I'm going to try to plant more next year and hope that I get the seed that got crossed, because I did save seed from multiple fruits. But it's worth a try again because this was a wonderful homemade hybrid. Very beautiful. We're in the back of the cornerstone bed. There's the Oya that we were looking at. And it might be hard to spot. Right there, right here is a watermelon, and I also planted one. Ooh, right there. And I had a very difficult time at watermelons the past few years. I think it's just something to do with the weather changes that have been happening. But my goodness, I'm really trying, because watermelon used to be my easiest thing to grow in the summertime, so we're gonna keep trying. I also have one of our cassava sticks. We just stuck it in the ground. It is a tropical root crop. It's already starting to bud right here. I don't know if bud is the proper term, but the green growth is starting to come out. All you need to do is just stick one of the cuttings in the ground and 9 times out of 10 they work. So I have 3 lined up along the back of this bed. We're going to try that. And going up the path a little ways, there's the other Cassava stick right here. But turning to the other side against the fence, there's the Vinca. And here's another ashwagandha plant. This is doing way better than the one in the bed that I showed you earlier. I'm shocked with how good it's looking, so we're just going to keep that there. And along the fence, our grapevine. I don't remember what grape it is. The only issue I have is that they do make these little grapes. And the trouble is, a lot of the critters sometimes get to them before we do. So we'll see. But they are starting to form. And it's going all the way down the line. And what's coming back, or appears to be coming back, is our bitter melon. We actually have native wild bitter melons that grow here. I mean, I don't know if they're native, I should say, but they're wild and grow here. But so I take a cue from nature in that, hey, I can grow bitter melons very well, I'm sure, because of that. I do buy some from the seed companies because I know they're edible, because with the wild ones, oh, I've heard that they can be eaten, but, you know, I always hear yes and no's to this and that. I don't feel comfortable at foraging presently, because you just don't know. You just don't know. It is something I'm interested in looking into. But it appears that the bitter melon that I had planted is coming back. It was a Satsuma and a Bashi variety, so we will see. I found it did very well when I started it late summer into our fall, because we are still very hot here. And I actually had a decent amount of bitter melon, and I do see, I see a fruit at my feet. I don't know how well that is going to be because the plant was cut back and it was going through some cold temperatures and it was dying back, so this might not be that good. And I see some critter was starting to get to it. But yeah, there's one bitter melon. And another little one. I can't get up any closer, but there's another baby one here, so we'll see. Down the line, Panadol. I don't know much about it other than I heard it can be a medicinal for like a painkiller, and also the smell of it can deter rodents. I would assume you'd have to grow a lot of it for it to do that, but I just thought, why not? Let's give it a shot. And we have, hopefully, our Egyptian walking onions. I hope they work. We love our onions here. I've grown it once before, but in a container, and they rotted out. So I'm hoping in our ground it will dry out better and do well, but we'll see. And again, another eggplant. Like I said, not as well as the one where my puppy had gone to the bathroom. She fertilized it pretty well, but we'll see. We'll see. It still has time. One of my best eggplants ever grew during the summertime and didn't look that good, but it had time to really stretch its roots out, and when the cooler weather did happen, it gave us the most fruit we ever got in an eggplant. It was like 45 fruit. So I'm hoping, even though this one may not look that great, maybe over time it will build a good root system and perhaps give us fruit in the fall and winter. But again, we'll see. And something we're going to see as well. This here, I might not have the video out just yet, but the single seed challenge. So you are seeing it here, folks, the germination of the two, but I will let that video tell you what it's all about. And heading down the side of my house, some basil, some just your good old sweet basil. Just picked some the other day. Also, our purple basil, just picked some as well. And you can see it's already branching out at the top where I harvested it. And hopefully, well, we have some leggy cucumber seedlings. I'm hoping they pull through and do well. I did harvest the lettuce that was in front of it that was creating some shade. And I hear Luna Bell, she's very upset. I knew she was going to do this to me. In and out all day. Cuban oregano starting to grow out of its cold snap. That kind of damaged it, but it always does well, you know, when the warm weather comes. More planted cassava. That's going to get huge. Oh, and something that's really going well. One of my favorites, cucumbers. I already harvested 2, and we have another along the way. Cucumbers is a crop that one of my favorite things to grow and eat from the garden. but also one of the most difficult. Those green caterpillars just do a number on these, really damage them very bad. Also, because of our humid climate, the leaves just succumb to disease. So what I've learned is sometimes it's all about variety. This is a Poinsettia 76. It is known to do better in my climate, and it has proven itself well. As long as I come out every day or every other day and brush off the little green worms, because I don't like to spray. I don't know, I just get annoyed at that. I like to find ways to tend to the garden without having to buy more products. So I just come out here with my little paintbrush, brush off the little green caterpillars. It only takes a few minutes, and it really holds the plant out just long enough to get a nice little bundle of cucumbers. So very excited. All right, we got some perennial basil down here, our blue African basil. I'm really trying to get that growing again amongst all this Cuban oregano, looking good. And this pepper plant, I don't know how to pronounce it, I should say, but I did plant this late summer. Planted it here, wasn't doing well. Again, my timing experiment to see if getting the root system going through the fall and winter, despite the cold weather we have, is that going to help it through spring and summer? Because I had success with that. And this is proving itself again. It's actually looking way, way better than it ever had because of our warm weather that we've been getting. And let's see, I had major success with this. This was a San Marzano tomato, but we've also been having a lot of critters get to the fruit, which I expected, but I just wanted to see if I could grow tomatoes here. And my goodness, I wish I could have shown you how many we're growing here. I mean, actually, I do give you a little glimpse of it in one of my winter tours, but my goodness, there was way more than I even thought. So I'm thinking of growing maybe some cherry tomatoes here next year, because chances are I'll be able to enjoy some, because cherry tomatoes produce a lot. And from all those winter tours as well, another giant kohlrabi about the size of a softball. I actually have a number of these growing around the garden. I just haven't been able to show you all of them. But I've noticed for me, the giant kohlrabis keep better in the garden longer and still maintain their crispy, good tasting and not so woody as the more common early producing kohlrabis do. So I'm very excited. I'll be probably harvesting that very soon, along with the other one on the other side. This is growing with a more elongated shape, but not bad. Definitely plumping up way more than when we last saw it. And in the middle, my hopeful dream of watermelons. This is the Jubilee variety. Still cleaning up the garden and getting things ready. I just want to quickly show you before my AC goes off. We have some perennials like our Katuk. These are good greens for the summertime. It does get some shade here, which it seems to appreciate. And in here, hopefully, I do have some arrowroot. I hope it comes back. But until then, we do got some longevity spinach and some CISO spinach. These are tropical greens, not related to spinach that you are aware of, the more common spinach. That's just what they call it. But anyhow, tropical greens that we grow and eat from, and very good. And another very hopeful watermelon, my Black Diamond. Come on, Lunabelle. This way. I even have some spaces in the front yard that I've been working on and learning what grows there well. I can show you a bit of it here. The success on a slope that we have had growing through the fall and winter still has one kohlrabi on it. I'm just trying to see how big it's going to get while still tasting good. And plants up against the house, trying to find perennials that are just going to flourish there so I don't have to worry about them as much. And still our passion fruit vine, not looking good at all because of the hurricanes and the cold weather. We'll see if it makes a comeback. Hopefully I can make a cutting. Hopefully I'll find some self-seeded plants, because it might be that I just have to redo it. always so hard to show everything in a garden tour because there's just so much going on, whether good, bad, or ugly. But before we go, there is still one thing that I want to do with you. And I have been waiting all fall and winter to do it. And that is to harvest some of our giant carrots. I'm going to pull one with you today, maybe two, maybe three, who knows? Let's see, which one will we choose today? Maybe this one on the end. All right. These carrots are known to get about 2 foot easily in good growing conditions, and I can normally grow carrots pretty good. I did feel around the top of the root. It feels like it's gonna be good. So let's give it a try. Here's the initial pull. Oh, well, not bad. That's more of a foot long. The one I'd pulled out a few weeks ago was definitely double the size of this. Let's try another one. Still not bad. Put it down here. Let's try the carrot that was next to it. This does feel like it has a very, very large crown here. Let's pull it out. Oh my gosh, look at that thing. The reason for carrots to do this is actually because there was probably a stone or a root in the garden bed, and as the taproot goes down, it just kind of grows around it. But it makes for a funny looking carrot, but still very edible. Let's get another one. Third time's the charm, so they say. So let's get this one on the back corner and see what happens. Still a little over a foot long. Look at all that there. Again, nothing wrong with it. It was just whatever's in the soil. Not bad. Now the first carrot I did harvest earlier on was about a 2 foot long carrot, and I didn't take a picture of it because honestly I really thought I was gonna be able to pull out some of those 2 footers with you today. But still, you know, I'm not gonna complain. This is still really good. I hope that this spring garden tour has shown you that no matter what the good, bad, or ugly thing that's going on in your garden, that you will still get some good things too. Whether it be the harvests, maybe lessons learned, whatever it is, you will get something. If you want to join me in the garden more, I do have an Instagram, You Can Grow Too, and that's where I do a lot of updates that you might see before even a lot of these videos come out. So be sure to check that out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.